Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we do have the best meta plays in each respective position. How are you boys doing? How was the weekend right there? How was weekend league indeed? How is the patch as well? Like post-patch, how are you boys getting on right there? Because I can't lie, I don't know what they're doing with this game. It just feels so stagnant, bro. I mean, the amount of times, right, that they're changing stuff. Yeah, I'm currently using the 4-3-3-4. Didn't get too bad wins right there. I think got 10 or 11. Nothing crazy, but... yeah, I don't know. I feel like the 4-3-3-4, I might actually do it for formation tactics, so stay tuned for that. Tell me what formations you boys are using, what players you're using, you know. If you don't know the series or this episodes, basically best players in each respective position, but two subcategories being cheap to medium, and then medium to expensive within each respective position. Let's get into it though. We're not going to waste any time. Man, come on. You already know MMOEXP, the best coin website to get your FC26 coins. Get a huge jump start to your teams. I'm talking Mbappe's. I'm talking some of the best cards in the game, man. META, that's code META for the best cheapest coins. Check first link in description. Also, 8% off. God damn. Now, when it comes to goalkeepers, right, you're looking at obviously height. You're looking at playstyles like far reach plus. You're looking at rush out plus as well, is I'd say the more meta one. Also long throw is not a complete bad one, you know, to start counter attacks with, but I feel like far reach and obviously deflector I feel like is a little bit redundant. Obviously the taller goalkeeper is the better. Not really that much good cheap to medium, you could say. I'd say Pope is the best one alongside maybe Info Minan. Now, when it comes to the gold ones, I know Mamadashvili as the best valued one is always a shout that a lot of people do. I think if I were to choose the best one right now that I've versed personally, because at the end of the day, you know, I always take into account like separate stats from feel, what people are talking about in the community, looking at the actual stats, play styles, you know, you have to take all of these things into account. And overall, I'd say Pope, bro. I'm not gonna lie, Pope is actually one of the better, more, I'd say, consistent goalkeepers in this game. But yeah, Minan's not bad as well. I'd say in between those two. When it comes to a gold goalkeeper though, someone like Courtois is good. I've heard some bad things about Alisson, but as I said, man, goalkeepers is very unfortunate. It's a tough one to do because, yeah, especially with this position, probably the hardest one to choose because, I mean, or like speak about, because essentially when you think about it, it's all upon you, you know, whether you move your goalkeeper, whether you bring him out. It's more, I'd say, a manual type of thing, you know, aspect right there to a position. Probably the most manual one right there. Yeah, the best, I'd say, goalkeeper right now that a lot of people are using that it's very irritating. It's probably Schmeichel, bro. I've seen a lot of times, every time I play him, Schmeichel is really good in this game. He's 6'4" as well. Very nice stats all around. Obviously, the taller the goalkeeper, the better, because they essentially get to the crevices, etc, etc. Obviously, all the icons I feel like is good. I wouldn't really say the what is it, the first version of Yashin, which is I think the silver one. I wouldn't say he's in the meta, but I think there was an Evo apparently for him. But yeah, that was a weird one. I think it was more of a glitch. But yeah, if I were to say the best goalkeeper in terms of like the cash that you can spend, probably in between Yashin and Van der Sar. I feel like they've always just been the most meta for a long time, most consistent, you know. And we also have the new kid on the block right there, Oliver Kahn, with the far reach plus. He's going to be insane. But yeah, Donnarumma is also looking nice, but I feel like you can just get the gold, man. When it comes to goalkeepers, bro, like literally there's no need to be spending so much coins on it. Unless you want to make the team look nice, then maybe you can go for like, you know, your icons and stuff. But even this card design looks nice, but the promo itself, I just feel like it's cheeks, bro. What are EA doing with the promo? Yeah, so let's jump over to the center backs though. Yeah, I don't know, this promo for me just felt like a placement promo that they're just adding. Like, I don't like when EA just add promos just to add it, you know, because I think it's the captain one, right? Like the theme of it, I don't know, bro. They should have just like skipped the week at least and then look forward to like more new promos. Like, I can't wait for Winter Wildcard. That is going to be really good. It just sucks that there's no Fatmas though, man. Shout out to the OGs that know about Fatmas, bro. Obviously when it is Christmas time, but nonetheless though, jump over to the center backs. Let's stop yapping. We're looking at the cheap to medium. Now when it comes to a center back, right, I'd say the best center backs that I've versed and used personally, I'm actually checking Van Dijk coming up the ranks again. For some reason, every time I play him, he's been absolutely incredible. I don't know if he's been buffed. Very good center back right there in this game. But I think the most consistent one, right, you're looking at the play styles of like intercept, anticipate, and then obviously bruiser. I feel like it's the main ones. But then there's one that obviously EA kind of are messing about with when it comes to like the overall game. Now, in the start of the game, everybody was like raving and ranting about like Jockey, right? EA is kind of messing about with the Jockey Plus and like the Jockey. It just feels very weird because basically now they've improved Jockey speed, right? So the players that have Jockey Plus or base feel even faster than the normal players, you know, even though everything's been buffed. So it's kind of like they buffed even more like the Jockey Plus. So that's why so much people are like opting for players that have Jockey Plus. Like for instance, Kunde is insane. You'll see him in a lot of people's teams right there. And you can just check like projection of tackles and movement wise. They're just much faster, bro. So that's what I'm saying, like when it comes to Jockey Plus, very overpowered. But yeah, look out for those playstyles, man. Even if they have the base plus, it doesn't really matter that much. Well, it does, but I do think the most meta one, probably Anticipate Plus, because that's the one that gets the ball, you know, when it comes to like being irritating, and versing someone like Saliba, for instance, bro, insane when it comes to collecting it. But Bruce is also good for advanced defending. And then even this girl, gal right here, Reynard, she obviously came out recently. She has base Jockey with Anticipate Plus. Now, I feel like there is better cards out there. I'd still say she's good in the range of cheap to medium. She's not a live card per se, so there's other cards you can just literally get. There's evos that you can also get. So yeah, speaking of evos, I think I've included them in the medium to expensive. We obviously got no Araujo and Ibanez. There's the two that I was saying. If I were to choose a center back to get right now, it might seem like a lot of money to spend, but look at this card, bro. 87 pace split, 92 reactions. If you don't know about reactions, it's a retrospective stat. It's a stat that basically grows every other stat, if that makes sense. It's like the root to all, you know, evil, you could say. If the reactions is good from each position, then that just means the card overall is going to be really good. But yeah, Anticipate Plus, amazing reactions, very nice pace. This is the card to get when you're looking at like longevity wise, because he also has the Anticipate Plus. So irrespective of what other cinematics come out, he at least has the plus with amazing base play styles. Very nice card, man. I don't care if he's going to be 135k. Try and snipe him on the market, man. Get that guy in your team. He's solid. Man, like Ibanez. It's just difficult to link, I think. But yeah, overall, man, there's also other cards here that I'd say is kind of dissipating, but still decent in the game. I just don't think they'll get the extra wins in champs, you know. Like when you're looking at world-class players, they're not really in that realm. I'd say they're more so like in the A tier list level. They're like good, but they're not elite. Yaro's still good though. We've got Hoyson and Hanko. A lot of people still use them, but there's definitely better, man. And speaking of better, let's jump over to, oh, by the way, one more thing. Yeah, I know a lot of people is gonna say, Mike, what about what is it, Isak Toure? Now, if you boys don't know about this guy, 6'9". Bro can literally be a center for any NBA team, bro. He doesn't even need to be playing basketball. He just needs to be standing there and like rebounding, bro. Because this is insane. 6'9", and he's got the 4-star weak foot. Now the issue with him is obviously balance and agility, but I feel like in this game, if you can counter it with like someone that's a little bit smaller to collect and transition, and you know not Yaya Toure, sorry, you know Isak Toure is gonna be that big lanky guy that just collects the ball. Re-release it, perfect stuff, bro. Very nice indeed. But yeah, he looks insane. I think if you actually add, you go to 71, I think there's a specific version of him. I think it's in evolution build. I don't think it's available anymore, I think. So let's check show expired. Let's quickly see which one it was that a lot of people were doing. Don't really see it here anymore, but there was definitely one that a lot of people were doing. But just look out for him though in the future, because you'll definitely have future evos since he's a silver. So yeah, jump over to medium to expensive if you don't want to do like evos and stuff. You're looking at the likes of Van de Ven. Insane, bro. Very, very pacey. I included him in my top 5. I think it was, what is it called? Center backs, because I feel like he's so pacey to the point where no other center back's going to be like him for pace. And he's got rapid plus, so with the ball is going to be very fast in transitioning. He can be like that almost CDM-like center back, you know, a good ball-playing defender. But yeah, I got Eder Militao, Saliba. You boys know the deal, man. Like, don't really need to be explaining the medium to expensive range side of things, because they're essentially expensive for a reason, you know. I never take price into account, but it makes sense why they're all expensive, bro, is what I like to say, my famous saying. But yeah, we've got obviously all the center backs in the icon realm. Now, for certain positions, you know, I didn't really include every meta one. So there's probably some that I've missed out, sorry. But don't be in my comments, bro, saying, Mike, what about this? What about Ruud Gullit? Is he meta? I'm going to just ignore you, bro. Straight up. But thanks for commenting, though. When it comes to center backs, though, you're looking at cards that are just very fast. Just in the realm of insanity when it comes to just being very irritating when it comes to like intercepting, projecting, you know, all the necessary things of defending, bro. It's literally not rocket science, you know. But yeah, I feel like the one with the most aura though is this Burn, bro. Man scored a finesse header in his time. Shout out Precision Plus as well. 307k is going down in price. If I were to say the best valued center back right now that money can buy, that's very good still, I'd probably say, damn, all of them are expensive. Ledley King's not a bad one, bro. For under 200k, Anticipate Plus, you don't need to Evo anything. He's got decent pace. Not a bad shout right there. I'd say Blanc. Probably Blanc, bro. He's got that animations in game. He's an icon. 500k, that's a good price. Let's move over to the fullbacks though. When it comes to medium, cheap to medium fullbacks, there's always free reign when it comes to fullbacks, man. You can literally just have anyone as long as they have the pace and, like, you know, inclination to defend. But majority of the time, off the ball movement is the most important for this position because they're going to be the guys that are the extra outlets to pass to, whether it be on the wide flanks, whether it be just someone to have that 1-2s to get through to, you know, when it comes to short passing. They're the type of fullbacks you want. So I'd say the best value, probably Nuno mentioned Hakimi, bro. It's not rocket science. It literally works. Why would you need to be doing anything else than that? It's a little bit boring, yes. If you want to change things up, have some flair, maybe Davies in the team now, because you can actually go through his Evo and get his defending up now, because he obviously had 74 defense. Wasn't really that meta, but now at least he has somewhat of defense. You just go protect the wings, ignore all that other stuff. That's just like, you know, some stuff that you can just add alongside, which is nice. That's what I like about Evos. You know, you can make the card very unique to your specific or tailored to your liking. Gwen is one that I've versed a couple of times this weekend as well. Very good SPC, bro. A Jockey Plus as well, 85k for her. She's a very nice card. I think she's probably one of the best valued fullbacks right now, instantly, bro. Very nice card. We've got, I'd say the most meta, I'd say most like longevity wise, Hernandez, Balde, Frimpong, Llorente. Come on, bro. We've been here, man. These are the type of cards that everybody knows about. Don't need to be explaining too much. But yeah, we've got some cards as well that's just underneath them. You could say they're like lower mid ranking of like A. They're okay, bro. They don't get the extra wins. They're just there either for you know, links. They're there for maybe somewhat meta, but there's better. There's definitely room for improvement, I could say. But I mean, if you don't have, you know, you're balling on a budget, you could go for that man like Wesley, bro. Very nice fullback. I've versed him a couple of times. What's funny about right backs, actually speaking, I've used his gold in the start of this year, right? He was very good for me, bro, because of the quick step. Now he's got quick step jockey as well, which is kind of nice because it kind of overshadows the, what's the word? The mid defending. Do you get me? Like, it overshadows that because of the playstyles. And that's why playstyles is so overpowered. People are kind of getting pissed off because you could have, let's say, for instance, a guy with 99 pace, but without like jockey or quick step or rapid. But then you get a guy with 90 pace, -9 defending, and he doesn't have the or he does have, sorry, the quick step and like jockey, but then he's faster than the guy with 99 pace. It doesn't make sense. EA kind of need to, like, I think, pattern up and kind of switch playstyles a little bit. Like another guy actually was saying it. I'm going off the rankings here, but he was saying if you have a specific stat, like let's say for instance, if Wesley had above 85 interceptions, right, as a stat, then that means he can get interception base or plus. Does that make sense? Or if they have above 90, they can have the plus. That's what I think EA should go for when it comes to stats. I don't know, that's just me though. But yeah, let's jump over to the medium to expensive fullbacks. Let's stop yapping. We've got some icons. We've got some very nice cards, you know, that SPCs like Jordi Alba, Beast, Valverde, Beast. Cambiasso, I'm seeing him come up the ranks. A lot of people are using him because he's a live card. Very good card in general. And he can get upgraded, which is nice. So stay tuned for that as well. Obviously dependent on how good Juventus do in the UCL. It's a UCL live. But yeah, I can only imagine how nice Marcelo is to use those type of cards. First touch plus, bro. He had one of the best first touches in football, man. Beast. But yeah, we've got some cards here as well. I'd say they're more or less like creeping up on like lower S, even could say higher A. But still very good, man. Very potent as well. I'd say Captivia, very underrated as well. People look at his pace, but no. Very nice. I think he's got quick step as well. So kind of remember what I said about playstyles. Helps out in terms of pace. If they have above 80 pace, right, and they have the quick step, they're still going to be fast, bro. Trust. It's because of the playstyle. So look out for that. Llorente as well. Very nice. Tell me who's your favorite right back, full back, left back. I always say as well, having a nice balance, you know, maybe of not too tall fullbacks and not too short, because you don't have too tall fullbacks where it's like both fullbacks are above 6 foot, they're lanky, then you can't turn with your players, or kind of use them as like alleviation for press. Or then you can go on the other side and have two small fullbacks, which you will get beaten in the air in terms of corners and stuff. So you kind of want to have it in that nice stat, you know, line where you can have like someone like Jordi Alba that's not too short, not too tall, more on the shorter scale, and then someone on the right back like a Cambiaso that's not too lanky but decent height, you know, two sharp plays off the ball and winning the ball in the air. But yeah, let's move over to the cheap to medium midfielders. Now the two midfielders that everybody uses for meta, right? You don't need to be spending too much. De Jong with the Tiki-Taka Plus and Reinders, bro. When it comes to a midfielder, right, having a passing playstyle plus is so underrated. It's actually one of the best because essentially you don't lose the ball as much, and it's just those quick, potent, nippy passes that go to the attackers that start counter-attacks very quickly, and just in general to alleviate pressure. Their passing is very potent irrespective of what their passing stat is. If they have a playstyle, beast. But not only that, this is the CDM-CMs, so these are cards that essentially act as like the box-to-box. They can do everything, heart of the team. Then you got your CDMs, which is obviously your deep lying, your holding players. Essentially these are the guys that intercept, get the ball as well. Sometimes have some ounces of offensive, but for the most part they are defensive. So yeah, you're looking at a lot of these cards. I'd say the most meta ones, man, as I said, the young Reinders. A couple of cards that I've really hated versing is card Shawi. She's everywhere, one of the most versatile ones. She's 11k, bro. You don't need to be doing too much. Marcus Llorente as well, very nice card in this game. Camavinga, insane card in this game. That's the big fella Evo. If you did him, you know how good he is. And there's actually a new Evo you can do for him if you didn't do that one. You see, I'm showing you all the Evos right here, bro. You're getting everything. I think it was this one right here that he becomes a slide tackle plus, which very underrated is, if I do say so myself, but obviously a little bit redundant, but a very nice card on stats. I think that's a solid card if you didn't do the big fella. I do think the big fella is better though. Evo I'm talking about. But yeah, we got Shuimeni. I think I didn't include him. I think I included his other one. But yeah, we got all these cards that are somewhat decent, still do their job. You know, they like mid slash higher A. Especially these cards like Guijaro still have the longevity. Pedri as well, very good at passing. You kind of need to know what you're doing when it comes to midfield. Like let's say you're running a 4-3-3-4 for instance. You want to have someone that is a little bit taller, more lanky, that is the interceptor, like for instance Caicedo, right? That can act as a CM still, but is most of the time a holding defensive character. And then you want your other CM to be like a roaming character that kind of acts everywhere, either a box-to-box, either a playmaker roaming, but most of the time his off the ball movement is insane because of the stats that he has, you know, basically above 80 everything. So someone like Llorente, I'd say if I were to build the perfect cheap valued, like good valued midfield with the 4-3-3-4, because that's the meta now, someone like Inform Vitinha alongside De Jong, I think is absolutely perfect, bro. Those type of like midfielders always do well. Or you could even say Vitinha Inform to be like that roaming player alongside maybe someone like Kimmich, bro. You know, very nice indeed. And it doesn't really matter too much about height. It just obviously depends, but for the most part, not that much. So yeah, CDM-CMs that are medium to expensive. We're looking at different colors here right there in terms of card design. Not like that, you know what I mean? I'm not racist. In terms of card design, boys, please. Shuimeni in Metro right there. We got this new version, or better version of Reinders, insane. Just get his gold though. Ramirez, Zé Roberto, yeah. The thing with this type of midfielders, right? I don't know. I don't ever like go over the thing of buying insane midfielders. Just buy Putellas and Bonmati, bro. They do their jobs, especially the women's side of things. They just smaller, right? Yes, but they're much quicker to turn with. Very quick, very nippy. So even if you just have one of them, bro, it is so good. Like someone like Bonmati or Putellas, bro, they are so good in terms of turning and getting that ball. It doesn't really matter too much about the physical, and that's just how the game is right now, you know. Whereas back in the older days, you needed to at least have someone like a Petite Vieira. You boys know the deal. But yeah, obviously the icons, everyone's gonna know they're good. You know, if you're telling me in my comment section, bro, Mike, what about Mateus? Is he good? I'm gonna just look at you, bro. Yeah, with depression. But nah, there is still obviously so much other cards I couldn't include because Fatman only have like a specific amount. But you could say I've included the best versions of these cards and the best of the best. So if your card's not here, tough luck. But tell me though, that's why I also do these videos, is just to give you an idea. You know, people in the comment section can always come in and say this card is good. If it gets certain likes, then, you know, other people can have like that camaraderie, if that makes sense, and can speak about specific cards. But yeah, when it comes to cams though, you're looking at chance creators, playmakers, pretty much free reign as well. You want to have cards that are really good in terms of like just the way they feel. Like, I won't lie to you, I'm using, what's his name? I'm using Rui Costa, funny enough. I packed him in the hero, right? I'm almost Div 1 with Rui Costa and Lukaku at striker. You don't need to be doing a lot, bro. You just need to be having like cards that feel good. And that's why sometimes it always stems down to like subjectiveness. Because someone that uses like, let's say Rui Costa, like for me, I'd say he's very good. But from a scale of objectively, people will say he's not that good because of his stats, play styles. So you also have to separate stats from feel. It's such a important, you know, other like, what is it, aspect to players. But yeah, this is the cheap to medium cams. Bellingham is nice, a little bit lanky, but Odegaard, you know, these cards just came out, Bernardo Silva. They're gonna definitely go down in price. They're okay, bro. I'll be real. That Odegaard, probably one of the better ones because of the incisive pass plus. He's so underrated in this game always. And look at his stats as well. At 200k, I honestly think this card is a steal. Straight up, bro. Even with that stats. Like people say 83 sprint speed and acceleration. Bro, he's going to be very fast. You know, he's got that technical. If you hold down RB, R1 on PlayStation. We got Sissy, we got Simmons. Very irritating Simmons. I won't lie. I versed him a couple of times. We got this Rafa that I've actually included. Is it... So you can choose between the specific versions, right? It's pretty much the same thing. Does it go to 4-star, 5-star? Wait, hold on. No, that's pretty much the same thing, yeah. You can literally just get the Inform Rafa, El Capitan. Now, that's a very difficult one to choose because El Capitan, everybody was doing it with different cards. I did it for Lukaku. Some other people... Or who did I do it for? Was it Lukaku? I think it was him. I think so. And then, obviously, you can do Openda. But this Rafa, though, if you haven't done it yet, look at the state of this card. Very good dribbling stats, 86 stam. A lot of people are looking at this card. Has got 5-star weak foot as well. As a cam that can actually be a chance creator and like maneuverable wise, he looks pretty nice, bro. And that's why I like doing these videos, because I give these type of like, you know, hidden gems, bro, you could say, golden nuggets. But yeah, Dybala's nice as well, 200. But yeah, for cams, these cards, yeah, are pretty mid, I'll be real. Eberechi is good. Pogba's also good. Ward-Prowse, not the best playstyle plus. When it comes to playstyle pluses, though, for cams, Incisive Pass Plus is the best one. I feel like it's the most potent one for like passing. Because at the end of the day, that's what you want to do with your cam, is release the ball to your striker. No nonsense. So yeah. Speaking of no nonsense, medium to expensive cams, there is a wide plethora of cams, man. We're looking at some attackers even. You know, like Ginola, he can play the cam position. I even might think Ginola might be one of the better cams in the game because of the technical plus. He can transition very beautifully and can act as a shadow striker. So it depends on what you're doing. Like, I wouldn't say Ginola and Hamsik is the same, but they definitely S tier because one can be a shadow striker, one can be a playmaker. You know, so it depends on what you're doing with your cams. Same thing with De Bruyne. Doesn't have the best raw stats, but passing wise, as like a playmaker, roaming or like balanced, perfect, bro. For like just releasing the ball, especially like a 4-4-1-1 or like a 4-3-3-4. But yeah, we obviously got some cams that are icons, bro. We all know these cards are going to be great. Please don't come into my comment section, Mike. If Iniesta's there, where's Xavi, bro? I'm going to be like, bro, please. There's going to be that one guy, man. He's just going to do that for doing its sake. But yeah, Due is a nice card. Very underrated as well. But yeah, let's move over to wingers, man. These cards are just all great. We don't need to be standing here too much or sitting too long. Wingers, I feel like it's perfect to just have Salah and Rafinha in your team. Inside forward. Boom. Done. If not, Nico Williams and Di Maria, bro. Those type of cards are just perfect in this game. Nico Williams, do you know how much times I've versed Nico Williams on an average? I've seen him more times in my family, bro. Yeah. Him, once I see Nico Williams, I know I'm going to see Claudio Pina as well. Tell me if I'm wrong, bro. But yeah, we obviously got Rodrigo Lozano in the season pass. Very good cards as well. Some people have them. Yeah, touch grass, bro. I know that's you. Some cards here below. Some will not be mentioned. We got Ulisse Ostavio as well. Very nice. Some people say he actually plays like Neymar, which, fair enough, kind of does feel like Neymar. By the way, it is 8 o'clock by the time I am recording this. Let's check what they've released. I don't know if they released a new Evo, but this is obviously before that. So let's actually check active SPCs. So Reynald was yesterday. Max 89 base icon. I'm not too sure. It doesn't really look like anything. But yeah, when it comes to wingers, man, and as I said, like it's almost like fullbacks. You have free reign. Just go with people that are fast. If not, like for instance, look at Lamine Yamal. He's 85 pace, right? Not the quickest. He's got technical plus. Running with the ball, insane. So you got to look out for play styles like rapid, technical. Is always nice, bro. When it comes to movement, especially cutting inside, using that inside forward. If I were to choose the best, as I said, winger, left wing and right wing wise, Nico Williams for left wing. Right wing, I'd probably say Diani, bro. She's very good. You know why? She cuts inside and uses the finesse shot. 4-star as well. She's so irritating to verse. She's 16k. Yeah. At least she's accessible. Do you get what I'm saying? So Doku's very nice as well, the finesse shot, but low shooting. But 55k, not bad as well. Future Evos, he looks nice. He might actually go up in price. Let's move on to the strikers, man. Oh, wait, one more for the wingers. It's the medium to expensive, as I said with the wingers. There's so much other cards I could have included, like Best, Jorginho, Garincha. There's a lot of wingers. Can't lie, a lot of wingers. Probably the hardest one to include everyone. There's just so much good wingers right there. It's also kind of like each promo that EA add, all these wingers are going to have this meta stagnancy where it like builds up. Most cards are like higher A, lower S. So there's no point. You get what I'm saying. But at least the price drops though, which is nice. But yeah, Graham Hansen's insane. The best winger I'd say right now to buy is probably going to be this Graham Hansen. For left wing, probably Hazard, bro, I guess. Imagine how that Hazard moves, but he's got 85 shooting though. For 800k less, you can literally get a player that is much better. Di Natale. But any version of Hazard is going to be nice. Yeah, let's move on to the strikers. Kind of want to see what they released though again. Oh, okay, Riley for right back. Let's see. Is she NWSL? She is indeed. Doesn't look really that great in terms of just looking at stats, but she's got Jockey Plus. You see, you always got to look at the playstyles, man. When it comes to strikers, boys, you know, man, come on. This is probably the best position in the game to kind of just do whatever you want. The most irritating... Now, you guys can pause the screen, right? I'm not going to be here too long. We don't want to make this video over 30 minutes, but the most irritating card that I just know is going to be insane for a lot of people's teams is Claudio Pina, bro. I don't know if you heard about it. No, I'm joking. Not her. Of course not her. The main man, Sexy Sesko, as my one mate calls him. Yeah, he might be on that other receiving end, but nonetheless. FOF captains, don't really do that one. Just go El Capitan through getting his 84. And my friends, 5-star weak foot, 4-star skills, Sesko indeed. This card is incredible, bro. Very nice card. I remember versing his gold in the start of the game. He had insane, like, just movement. I can only imagine this specific version, and this is the one I was saying. Yes, it only says 83 acceleration. He kind of reminds me of like a Haaland type of player. Does that make sense? I mean, 89 stam. What are we doing, bro? This card looks incredible. You slap something like a Hunter or even a, I don't know, Hunter, I think you are going to be doing some nice things. I had to include the main man, Lukaku, bro. Oh my word, the technical plus. He currently has 110 goals in 50 games for me. One of my favorite cards I've used. If I can even find clips of how I've used him, insane, bro. He's one of the best strikers in my team that I've used in this game, period, bro. So yeah. Van Persie, pretty decent icon, bro, for 250. We got Soloth as well. I'd say if you don't have Sesko, Soloth was the next best thing. A lot of people like to use this type of card because I feel like he always gets a card in the past 2, 3, 4 FIFAs, bro. He's gotten like a decent striker card. Is it the meta in this game? I'd probably say to a certain degree, yes. If he had Enforcer Plus, probably one of the best. Kind of like a better Yokeresh, you could say. Yeah, that Solat is definitely meta because of the playstyles he has. So as I said, always look at playstyles, man. Openda is one that a lot of people are using as well. Wilson, if you don't want to do too much, just get Wilson in the team and you're cooking. Obviously, all these cards here are good. And then let's jump over to the very last one, boys. It's going to be one of the best pages you'll see in terms of cash and in terms of meta, man. Striking wise, yeah. I actually want to see how much that Kane is and his card, bro. 4-star, 4-star. I always thought this Kane had 5-star weak foot. 80 stam, that's fine. Kane is Kane. Now, when it comes to strikers, right, you need to look at what you comprising of. When you have a tall striker, I think the best thing would be, excuse me, wanting him to be advanced forward and just staying up top, not as a complete, but just attack. You know, you want to feed the through balls to them. But if you have someone like a small striker, you know, that's not good physical wise, you can, you know, accompany him or her with someone that's a little bit taller. It kind of sets the balance nice. But nonetheless, I feel like the small ones you can even add as like a false 9, you know, like a Gloria Pina to kind of drop back. But even with the tall ones, you can. Like, I sometimes use Lukaku as like a false 9 striker, and he cooks, bro, because he's so tall and physical. Kind of acting as a, exactly how I used to play in Everton, you know, hold up striker. But yeah, Lewandowski's nice as well. He's got an improved version. His card is going to be good. So yeah, there's just so much strikers. But yeah, let me know what's your favorite one right there. Fernando Torres is nice as well. There's so much strikers though, so this position I definitely, you know, try to include the best, but there's just so much. Let me know who's your favorite striker right there. That's going to be the best meta plays in each respective position, boys. And yeah, cheap to medium to expensive. Let me know what you boys are doing, what games you're playing. I'm always keen to know, are you guys still playing FC? Yeah, this Riley card doesn't look too bad. 106,000 coins for her is a little bit pricey, man. EA, I won't lie, EA's SBC content is so dead. Riley at 100k, you can literally just go buy Llorente, bro, and make him an Evo. You see, that's the thing with this game. That's the issue with the game, man. Yeah. Have a super boys. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.